Gold awaits the FOMC, and we have Peter Hug in studio next. Peter Hug, Global Trading Director for Kitco, joins me now. Peter, so nice to be with you.
You're welcome, Daniela.
So, Peter, let's talk FOMC. Everyone's waiting to see whether the Fed will taper or not. How much is this weighing on the metals?
Oh, I almost yawned when you asked me that question, Daniela. I mean, that question's been asked every week. I think the market is looking for an excuse to break the wedge. Friday there was a bit of short covering because of Obama's declaration that Syria had crossed the red line. Traders were a little nervous. They covered their shorts over the weekend, caused a little bit of a rally. This morning the market settled right back into its range. They're waiting for the Fed to come out tomorrow and Wednesday to see if they're going to taper on their bond buying purchases.
Well, I need to ask the questions, Peter. What do you feel in your gut? Do you think QE is going to end anytime soon?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm in the camp that the Fed probably won't do anything until the end of the year. I certainly don't think they're going to do anything at this meeting. The economic numbers that have been coming out recently aren't that great. Unemployment is still up over 7.6%. So I see no reason for the Fed to change their policy right now. I think if they start to taper, it will maybe be in September, but if they don't do it in September, I highly doubt they're going to do it in December around Christmas. So September will be the last window in my mind.
All right, Peter, let's talk Socgen now. Coming out today, they're calling for $1,200 gold. They revised their forecast downwards. And I had Jim Rogers earlier on the program saying it's almost popular to be bearish now. We've seen Rubini call for $1,000 gold within 2 years. Gartman quite bearish these days. What do you think of these statements we're seeing?
Well, I can't argue the logic of them being bearish subject to interest rates rising. If the stock market continues to have legs, yes, I can still see money moving out of the sort of the safe haven assets, such as the precious metals, and into more riskier assets, such as the equity market. But I don't see them ending tapering anytime soon. So I'm not a raging bull, but this market to me is still constructive. I mean, I found it comical when I saw the Socgen article this morning because I wanted to see what their global strategist,
right, who once called for $10,000
an ounce 6 weeks ago or 2 months ago, what he's saying now. I wonder if he revised his number down to 9,000. I mean, who knows? I mean, they're out there, they're trying to justify why the price isn't moving higher. But at the same hand, the price isn't moving lower. It's caught in a range. What makes me nervous about this range is that it's starting to tighten. And I see a wedge forming. And usually when a wedge forms, there will be a break. And it could be significant. I'm just not sure yet whether it'll be up or down.
Okay, well, we spoke about your gut last week, Peter. What numbers are you looking at this week?
Well, I'm still looking for, the sort of the 1362 level to hold. I doubt we'll see it, but I think it'll hold. And on the upside, I want 1420 taken out on a closed basis. And, then I'd be much more constructive for a higher move into the 1450, 1470 level. But until that happens, it's trading in a range. And I've been buying gold at 77 and selling it at 92. It's been a good trade for the last 3 or 4 days.
What's happening with silver, Peter?
I think silver is primed to break. If gold gets up over $1,400, I think silver could explode. By explode, I mean it could easily move $2 or $3 to the upside. Okay. If the economy continues to be weaker and Chinese data continues to be slow, silver is trading in sympathy with copper, and copper's having trouble breaking out of its range. Again, copper's also forming a triangle. And some of the guys I speak to think copper is fairly valued at these levels. Any signs of economic activity could take copper higher, which I think would be price positive for silver.
I'm sure a lot of people will be happy to hear this about silver, Peter. We had a lot of emails on this metal. Finally, I want to ask you about palladium. I had one analyst last week telling me he wouldn't be surprised to see $1,000 palladium by year end. What are your thoughts on the PGMs?
I'm bullish the PGMs. I think South Africa, albeit we've had a correction, South Africa is still a wild card when it comes to production. I think the palladium supply-demand picture is still price positive. And $1,000 by the end of the year, I think is possible for palladium.
Well, I'll make sure to be asking you about the Fed again next week when we'll be in Arizona for the IPMI conference. Good. So I look forward to being there with you.
I look forward to being there with you as well.
We look forward to providing you coverage from the upcoming IPMI conference in Phoenix, Arizona next week. In the meantime, you can email us at newsfeedback@kitco.com or follow this conversation at Daniela Camboni. Thanks for watching this edition of For Pete's Sake.